played into the penalty area, high towards the far post. Down goes the Preston player under the pressure of Skip, and a penalty has been given to Preston. Ollie Skip coming in, a corner played into the
Preston have been the better team, and you were just showing to me a little while ago why you think they've been so effective.
Yeah, I think you mean they're well organised, they're compact at the back and whatever like, and I think as Norwich we've known play over the last couple of seasons, the two fullbacks are high up the pitch here. I think that's forcing Hernandez in there, and now the Polish guy in there now as well. So back four, marking three. I'll be comfortable if Preston's back four, and basically they're dropping back in here, but they're cutting off them, and I just think and what these end up doing is long passes. Yeah. These two centre halves is food and drink for them. You know what I mean? Because they're big, strong, powerful. Pukki's got no chance in the air against him as well. So I just think sometimes rather than the fullbacks coming out there, why don't the wingers stay out there? And basically then like the fullbacks have got a problem then. And Cantwell, and even if Aarons or Quintilla comes in these areas here and picks up, it gives them a problem.
Can
if they're
be a bit more inverted as fullbacks rather than going out wide.
Absolutely. And I think that Cantwell can pick ball up in here. Hernandez can pick, Quintilla can pick a ball up in here. And even Hernandez comes in here as well. You know what I mean? There's spaces there, but they just seem to be so predictable at the moment. And even sometimes Cantwell's coming a bit. So it's like a back four. And like you've got your two midfield players. It becomes a long pass then. Preston want that. But Preston are no mugs. When they get the ball, they want to play. You know what I mean? They're sort of like trying to hit balls in the channel. You know what I mean? If it's got to go, it goes. And that's the nature of this division. You know what I mean? And they're not sitting back. They're pressing them high up the pitch as well. So Norwich have got to play as well. So, but that should play into Norwich's hand. If they're pressing high up the pitch, that's when Cantwell's got to get the balls in these areas. And like Quintilla, Aaron's get them. And like get some pace. Even if one of the wingers stays out there and the other one comes in here. You know what I mean? It gives them an out ball rather than a straight ball, a diagonal one to the wingers. It's been too predictable, I think, at the moment, and it's making life easier for the Preston back four and midfield four. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's your thoughts for Norwich at the moment. Let's hear from one of the fans.
Yep. Okay, Kieran, just tell us how good it feels to be back here in the crowd, Carrow.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, it's good to feel everyone's back, and they're trying to get as many people back as possible all the time. And yeah, I feel like it's a bit cramped in one stand, and people should be more spread out. But yeah, at least everyone's back and wearing face coverings and that.
Do you think that makes a difference to the game itself?
Yeah, I think like with the players there, and like I feel like they're more motivated with the crowd and obviously having a chance and that, rather than just having them on the speakers all the time.
Please remember, hands, space.
Well, I mean, he talked about the social distancing a little bit there, but in terms of the game so far, it's much as we said, really, we just want a bit more from them. I mean, it feels a little bit, they haven't really got going.
No, absolutely. It's a warm day, you know what I mean, like I say, and I think they need to be more positive on the ball quicker. You know what I mean, like I say, last year in the Premier we were saying, well, keep the ball, but I think in
as
this...
As they did in the Championship the first time round,
absolutely.
The back to front was quick last time they played in the Championship, but is that down to Preston doing a job on Norwich and not letting them play out from the back? As soon as Norwich want to do it, they're pushing 3 or 4 players up to stop them doing that, so then making them play long.
Absolutely, but there's times when McLean's got it, Skip's got it, even Godfrey and Zimmerman. You know what I mean? They're looking for passes through the lines in there, and for whatever reason, you know what I mean, Norwich players are not getting them space. There's spaces to hit, but these guys have got to be positive with their passes. You know what I mean? Not everyone's going to get there, but if Cantwell gets the ball in these areas, what he's got to do is turn and drive, because Pukki will make runs in there as well.
Yeah. Well, let's hear from Brian Gunn again now. He's going to join us from Zoom at home. I think he's there with us, Gunny. Oh no, he's in his car.
I'm in the driveway just outside. I've just been for a flu jab, so I'm feeling great.
Okay. Brilliant. Well, I don't know if you managed to see the goal, but I know you would never criticise a goalkeeper because the goalkeeper's union, but surely Norwich's goal, it's down to Declan Rudd's sort of slippery hands, isn't it?
Well, I'll have to go by the social media comments, and an actual commentator on the radio when I was listening said that Declan Rudd should have saved it, basically threw it into the back of his own net. So I want to see it on television before I give him the full critique. But I would have expected a goalkeeper of Declan's stature and calibre that he should be saving those, and he should be helping his team to a clean sheet. But I'm sure that Norwich and the 1,000 fans were happy to see that go in the net, but they switched off again at the back. But I did see some footage from the penalty, and it looked like it was a very soft one from the angle I saw it at. So I don't know what it was like from you guys in the studio.
Well, we saw it. I mean, to be fair, when we saw it from up here when I was on the gantry, you could see him lean his hands on him and push him in the back. And actually, the Preston players never ever get into the header. It's far too over his head. So Skip doesn't need to touch him at all. The problem is, as soon as you lay your hands on someone and he goes down, the ref is always liable to give it, right, Rob?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, so there was no need for that. It was nowhere near the player was going. And it was like a needless act, really. It was silly.
And Gunny, what do you looking into the second half now? Well, Norwich haven't been particularly great in that first half, but they managed to get a goal probably gets to run and play a little bit, then got a grip of the game, but then those defensive frailties just seem to still be hanging around at the moment for Norwich.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you were hoping to see, rid of during the summer. You know, they didn't have long to work on it, but, with Godfrey and Zimmerman still in there, Gibson's sitting on the bench, so it might be, different personnel that they need there just to make that more solid. But if they are going to do anything in the Championship, as we said before, it needs to be consistent, and one of those things is clean sheets, and that's not happened today now. So they've put themselves uphill task. I'm sure second half they're going to give it a go. They also got Hugel on the bench, who was a Preston player not so long ago. So who knows? He could come on and score against his old club as well. So still hope for Norwich City. A good 45 minutes, and hopefully they'll get back into the game quickly.
I'm going to just interested on your views on from a goalkeeper and a manager as well. Norwich don't leave anybody up on set pieces. They bring everybody back, which then doesn't give them an outlet in terms of a quick release from the goalkeeper. You come and claim a cross. I remember playing with you. You wanted me or someone to be in an area where you could lob that ball out quick as a counter attack. But Norwich don't seem to have that. Is that something that you wouldn't do, or you'd like to see Norwich implement?
Well, I wouldn't do, as you said, that even when I was in goals, I'd like somebody there, because that's certainly somebody with your pace, and they've got is a Polish chap come on just before half time there. Yeah. So he's on. So he's someone with pace who they could exploit, and that's something a tactic I would use, and I'd like using it when I was a player as well. But obviously Daniel Farke and his coaching staff feel they get a benefit from having players in the box, but they're giving away a penalty from a corner kick, so it's not worked. So hopefully they could change that tactic for the second half and keep players up the pitch to give them that opportunity to quick break onto Preston.
Goni, thanks for joining us again. We'll see you at full time. Hopefully you'll probably be in another car or a different house or somewhere else. We'll see you later on. Tom, man, look, I think we've got another fan on the line as well. Is it Donna? Got Donna ready to speak to us? Give it their view.
Donna, give us your thoughts on the first half.
Not a great first half for us, but dodgy penalty, and but I think I've enjoyed it, and I think the players have enjoyed us being here, but we need to have a better second half.
And what do you think of being back here on the whole?
Oh, I love it. We've waited a long time. It's been, 7-8 months since we've been here, and I'm like a kid at Christmas at the minute. It's really good. It's good to see the players. You can actually hear what they're saying, so I think it's quite a unique experience that we've got today, to be honest.
It's lovely. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
Timo Pukki's got his goal today as well, which is vitally important, isn't it? It's centre forward to get back on the score sheet. Doesn't matter how it goes in. He's managed to get some kind of header on it, but he'll be pleased.
Yeah, absolutely. And from that header, he's nearly had a chance there. He was alert to a poor back header as well. I mean, whereas the goalkeeper did quite well there, to be fair. He tried to loft it over him, but he needs chances like that. And again, going back to him, the ball's up to him, and balls need to be better. They don't need to be long balls over the top. He needs little threaded balls through and whatever. You know what I mean?
And we said as well, particularly last season, we were getting into good areas in wide areas from Max Aaron and Jamal Lewis, but the ball never seemed to come into the box a lot. You've got Quinty, who's probably delivered at least a dozen, not all with real quality into the box, but some. But then you find you've only got Timo Pukki in there. Is it a case of a bit of change of personnel, or someone's going to thrive a bit more off crosses? Because Timo Pukki's not going to attack at the far post a header as much as someone like a Hugel would probably.
It's knowing the game, basically. One instance here. Yavi Quinty has got the ball there, put a great cross in. You've got Pukki, you've got Hernandez, and you've got Pacheta, whatever his name is, the Polish guy. They're all making runs, basically there, and there. When that ball was delivered, I think all of them were either on the near post or this side of the near post, and he's just and he's gone over there. That's basics. You know what I mean? If you're running out there, you know what I mean, you stay out there.
One near, one far.
Absolutely.
One in the middle.
That's basics with your number 10 coming in there. Honestly, one ball he hit in there, that's just knowing the game, really. But like you say, if you were like Javi or Max Aarons or Javi putting balls in, you've got to have players covering all areas of the box. And if it comes out of the box, you've got to have your midfield players getting the ball. That's basics.
And is that just a bit of time and players getting to know each other and new teams and it takes a little time? Because there are a few different players in this side today. You know, you're talking 5 or 6 different personnel of a team that played last season. So that's got to have an effect. You can't expect it to happen kind of overnight.
Absolutely. Especially with a Polish guy. I mean, Gunny's just not going to... He's got pace to burn, basically. So on one-on-one situation, you'd rather see him, you know, as a winger, you want to receive the ball out there one-on-one. Yeah. You don't want to receive the ball back to goal here up against a big giant centre half because you know what you're going to get, basically. He's going to force you. One-on-one out here, give him the ball. Even if it means saying to him, right, and it stops Max Aaron's going up there, but tell Max Aaron, don't worry about going up there. Every time you get, give him the ball, one-on-one. Push it past him.
So is Pochettino almost becoming a little bit lost at the minute? He's not really finding the position.
No, he's trying to find a space. That's probably why he's come across there.
But he's not, because he's not had too many touches. He came across once on the left-hand side, and actually we said again, he's trying to pick someone out. You just got to put it through into an area, haven't you, as a cross?
Yeah, absolutely. He's making the right winger's making a run in here, getting the ball in here. It's crazy, but okay, if he does it, but you've got to like balance off. But he's got to get ball in areas that he can exploit his pace. And that to me, you tell me different, you're a winger, if you've got pace to burn, you'd rather have a 1v1 situation with half the half beyond him, so you can push it past him, or outside or inside, and just put pressure. Then all of a sudden, it causes them problems because he has to come across because 1v1 is not going to be good enough.
Yeah, well, I think it's about not being predictable as well, isn't it? So as a winger, you know, I would make sure that sometimes I'd come a little deeper to get the ball, sometimes I'd run in behind and mix things up. At the moment, you've got Quintilla, you know what he's going to do. He's going to get the ball, he's going to deliver it in the box. And you've got Pochettino, who plays on the right-hand side here, probably wants it to get one-on-one. Yet they're not really been that effective. You know, he's getting balls into the box, but no one really attacking him too much. But for me, again, defensively, it seems they've not been under too much. They've not been caused too many issues, too many problems. Yet they've conceded 2 goals. Is that just is that a mindset? Is it just switching off at the wrong times? Because Sinclair has not been picked up at all. Has he? When he's made that run into the box, he's literally ran between the 2 central defenders.
But he's ran off this guy. He's ran off Skip here.
So he's ran off Skip.
He's ran off Skip here. Skip's sort of like just saying, well, yeah, centre half's got him. But I think in the centre half's defence sometimes, I think because the 2 fullbacks are up there, the 2 full like wide, high and wide. These split wide. If Preston turn over possession, I mean, these sort of like are isolated there, and I think that's what's happening. I think he's tried to kick one. If they don't get back in quickly, there's a problem, especially if they turn over. Pass in there. Sinclair's made a run. That's Skip. That's McLean's made a run in there. There's a massive gap between the 2 centre halves. Ball's come in there. Basically shot and the right back's
so isn't that a case of, I know they play with this kind of 2 wide central defenders and then the 2 sitting essentially, but isn't this a case where you've got to say actually both fullbacks can't go forward at the same time? Because that's what it seems they do, don't they? That you've got both going forward, which leaves these big areas here for then, and that's the ones that Preston are exploiting, those gaps kind of in this number 10 role wide.
100%. It's like as if to say like you've got to sort of like go from a 4 back 4 and then you've got a back 2 and even one of these take responsibility and start playing a back 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or stay with your runners.
Or stay with your runners. You cannot leave a space. Expect these to get the ball because this is where they want to get the ball because they're obviously looking to play it out wide. But these 2 have got to take some responsibility and know the space. And these have got to tell them and say, listen, if we're vulnerable here, this is a massive, massive gap here. And that's what's happened. Sinclair has run from there behind Skip. Skip's not gone with him. Pass into there. Problem.
So do you solve it by maybe pushing your central defenders up a bit higher so there's no space to run in behind? Because at the minute there is a big gap, isn't there, between as much as there's a gap this way, there's a gap here as well between here for them to exploit. You can almost sit in here, then time is run.
Absolutely.
Whereas if the forwards defenders push up a little bit more, he hasn't got that space to run into.
No, absolutely. But like they're intent on getting the ball here. So say to your fullbacks, put your wingers out wide. Put your wingers out wide and push these on a bit. They can. If you've got Aaron's there, a back 4, basically, you've still got these 2 to receive the ball in there. And if they're pushing on, you've got Cantwell to pick the ball up in these spaces in here. You know what I mean? But you're playing with 2 wingers. And then the pitch becomes bigger. I think if the pitch becomes big, Norwich are better. They can play their passing game. If it's compact and predictable, it makes it easier for Preston, in my opinion.
So still a way back in this game?
100%. Yeah, no, I mean, you've got to feel as though, you know what I mean, it wasn't a great performance, like I say, but when they got back in, they've given a soft goal away. Hopefully, like they will correct that in the 10 minutes they've had or 15 minutes. So come out. You know what I mean, if they play football, I think they've got the pace to do the business on the Preston back 4.
Well, fingers crossed we get a turn around in the second half. I'm back off Chris Gorham. We'll see you at full time. Well, Rob, I think you described him as all or nothing, isn't it? He's one of those players. He's got his goal today, missed a great opportunity. He's tried to hit a volley with his right foot at the end there, but got his first goal for Norwich. And he is one of those, isn't he? He's got something about him. He's got pace, but he's raw.
Absolutely, and this will be like a wake-up call to the Championship or to English football even. But this division is difficult. But what he's shown today, he's got unbelievable pace. I think he needs to receive the ball in wide areas rather than central areas, because right at the death there, it was his cross. Teemu Pukki nearly scored, but he got there because of his pace. So he's got to have that space beyond the defender, really. So hopefully in future games, people can recognise that give him the ball, 1v1s, and do it. But bless him. He was probably trying too hard today as well on his debut.
Is that difficult though if you've got a left back in Quintia who likes to push up? Because he almost gets in his space, doesn't he? Because he's pushing so high, he then tries to go a bit further, and he's got no real space to work in.
You've seen it from the kickoff, Darren. Like I say, I think they played it back. Quintia and Max Aaron's movements, and immediately from the kickoff was straight up here. Hernandez and Placheta was in there. So that's where they're moving it at the moment. They when the fullback's high, but I think seeing him today in the 60 minutes he was on the pitch or whatever, showed that he's got to get pace. And I think in these areas he's not going to be as effective as he in these areas.
And Teemu Pukki got his goal today. His sort of flash header helped out by Declan Rudd, but had a really good chance at the end as well. Good save by Declan Rudd. So he'll be pleased he's got his goal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And just goes to show what Teemu Pukki can make. He put balls in the box. He'll make good runs and whatever. And I think just one thing, there was a couple of passes from Skip in that second half where it's sort of like the old reverse passes. Pukki nearly got on him, and I just think that's going to be very good going forward. Pukki now has got someone who can deliver those little killer passes from beyond the opposition defence.
So if you put Championship game into Google, or you put Championship game and looked it up in a dictionary, it'd come up with that game today, wouldn't it? It was a classic Championship game.
Most definitely. Plenty of effort, don't get me wrong, plenty of effort from both sides. I think Preston deserved the draw. But, blood and thunder, really. A little bit of lack of quality, the finesse side of the football and whatever, but there was enough on view from Norwich to hopefully going forward that they can do better in terms certain areas, be more sharp with their passing, be more positive with their passing as well, because I think if they do that, they've got the firepower up front. And I was impressed with Darren Eadie when he came on. It's brilliant. He's always receiving the ball on half term. You look at it, it's brilliant. He gets it on the ball and he's looking for that. And there's space in front, and he'll attack the defender rather than receiving it back to goal, methodical passing and whatever. I was quite impressed with him, and then he created that chance, and Placheta missed the goal basically. But that was down to Eadie getting on this area of the pitch in the air, beating two defenders, hitting a great left foot strike. I was impressed when he came on today.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. And we've got, I think it's Ian and Ollie, fan cams, have to see what they thought about today's game.
Okay, just tell us your thoughts of the game. Pukki and Placheta put in a fantastic performance, didn't they?
Pukki, very, very good. Difficult adapting from the Championship. It's very rough and ready rather than getting a bit more time in the ball. But there's a lot of hope to be taken from that. A lot of inspiration, a lot of attacks. They were a very big team and a strong team. I think we did well to come back in the end. Unlucky not to get the win.
Ollie, what do you think of the new player?
We had 6 shots outside the box. 2 were on target, and sadly in the last couple of seconds it was lucky we scored a goal, but the save was good. We had some good attacking chances. The players worked their socks off and it was good.
Does it feel good to be back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems really safe to be back. It's positive, dangerous times, but it's good to be back and supporting the boys. Hopefully we can go on and upwards from there.
Lovely, thanks. Thank you.
Go on Premier League.
I think the fans are happy to be back here, Rob. And where do they go from now? Do you take 4 points from the first 2 games? You're probably taking a point away from home at Huddersfield and the 3 points at home today. So it's a half decent start, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. No defeats, 2 games. And like you say, before the Huddersfield game, you say after the Preston game, we'd have 4 points. It's a solid start. But the expectations there this year, They've got to be up there. I'm saying to get 4 points out of a possible 6 is a good start, but they've got some tough fixtures coming up, and this, I mean, Preston are not one of the glamorous sides in the Championship. They've probably not spent the money that some of the other clubs have and whatever like. So they're going to get tougher tests than this, but it just goes to show that there's no easy games in this Championship.
What we could have actually during this season, we could have instead of a Where's Wally, we could have a Where's Gunny. Yes. He's with us again now. I'm not sure where he is. We're going to find out. Gunny, you with us again?
I'm just outside Marks and Spencer's in Macclesfield now.
Of course you are. I should have guessed that.
I'm just outside Macclesfield, Marks and Spencer's. Just Susan's in getting the dinner.
So you're keeping one eye on the football as well then at the same time?
Oh yeah. Primus Slava Placheka. We've got a new hero now, haven't we?
But just looking at Gunny though, I mean, 4 points from the first 2 games. That's a relatively decent start, but still lots to improve on as well. They looked a little bit fragile at times today defensively again, but again, they can score goals.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think 2 points a game is the statistic that gets you there. 46 times 2 gets you right up there to, I think, 96 points, whatever it is. So, that's what you need to get to. So you've got to be that consistent throughout the season now. And obviously today they fought back, which was good. Obviously that was something that was missing last season when they went behind. They lost that fight back, which they had in previous seasons. So, I just think a little bit late when Daniel probably took on Jordan Hugill. It was a great opportunity for him, maybe just to, score that winner against his old club, but, only having 6 or 7 minutes to do so. But again, give credit to Declan Rudd because, a great save at the end of the match there, saving his team the crucial point, and, he made up for his error in the first half. So, good to see Declan back at Carrow Road. A very good goalkeeper. But I think all in all, fair point for Norwich City today.
Yeah, do you think Preston will be happier with the point than Norwich?
Well, probably Neil won't be so happy now that, leading the game for so long and then, maybe just taking the foot off the pedal a little bit towards the end of the game. I think it was a double hit from Placheka. I think there was a shot went in, it bobbled, it wasn't clear, it came back to him and he managed to get his left foot onto it again. So, that was probably poor defending from Preston, but, sharp work in the box from Placheka. So, something that, he's come into the side now. I noticed him last week when the breakaway with Pukki and Adam Ida. Placheka looked like a young Darren Eadie in full flow, 120 miles an hour, legs going very quickly indeed. So it'll be great to see him, once he settles into the Championship style of the season.
Yeah, and just one final question, Gunny. Where's your receipt? Can we see what you got for Marks and Spencer's? What's for dinner tonight?
It's not.
I've asked for salmon, but my golf was that rubbish today that I don't know what I'm going to get. I don't deserve salmon anyway. Put it that way after my golf this morning.
Oh, so you're waiting in the car and you sent Susan in to get the food?
Oh, I've got to speak to you as well, unless I'll be speaking to you from the shopping aisles of Marks and Spencer's.
All right, great excuse, Gunny. Top man, thanks for joining us, mate. We'll see you soon.
All the best, Rob. All the best, Darren.
Cheers, pal.
Great value as ever. But he said it there, isn't he? There's a lot still to offer Norwich, and Placheka, like I said, has been kind of hit and miss a little bit today, but he could be a fan's favourite, couldn't he? He's got that potential. Anybody with pace and can score goals, which he has done today, you can offer something.
Most definitely, and what he's got as well, he's got like the desire to recover as well. He's playing left back sometimes.
He was, and then what I was saying, where's Quintilla? That's where he should be. Surely he's the left back, letting him do his work going forward.
Yeah, and I heard you on commentary as well. I mean, he was receiving the ball halfway in Norwich's half. He should be receiving the ball halfway line and further forward. If he gets it there. You know what I mean? But I agree. I think he could be a fan's favourite this year because of his pace, his electricity, and I think he's got an infection. You know what I mean? He works hard all over the pitch and whatever. Sometimes he might have to calm down in the ball and whatever. But like I said, I think he's better receiving him wide in spaces rather than like in central areas, in tight areas.
Yeah, and we've got another fan on the cam now. We're going to have a word with him too.
Chris, just tell me your thoughts of the game. Sum it up.
Well, I thought first half we were quite poor really, but second half we got into the swing and played some better football, made more chances. So it looks promising. Nice to be back though.
Yeah, and what do you think of the new guy, Placheka?
He looked lively. Nice goal. Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, he looked good, so promising.
Okay, thanks. Back to you, Darren.
Classic. He looked lively. He did, don't he?
He did.
He did look lively.
Very lively.
But you know, as I say, we've just talked about it there, but he is becoming a fan's favourite already. You know, he's scored a goal, and that's what gets you off the mark. When you get to a new club, you want to get your goal, don't you, and create something. And he's certainly been in headlines today from missing one when he should have scored and actually scoring a decent goal in the end.
And it's quite good that he did score in the end, because if he'd have been turning like in bed tonight thinking about that miss, you know what I mean, that would have cost Norwich a point even. But to recover from that and score a goal, and to be fair, he scuffed the first one, it managed to get, but he kept calm, and he's like a really good strike as well. So it was a good goal, but like I say, he can go home tonight and be happy with his performance. And like I say, I mean, he could be seriously become a fan's favourite.
And it could seem a good problem for Daniel Farke to have, but has he got a problem now in terms of Pukki, Hugill, Eadie, you know, all doing relatively well? That's 3 strikers, and they generally play with a 1, keeping them all happy. It's okay when you're at the top of the table, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. If he wants to play that formation, what he did today, you know what I mean, you're only going to play 1 striker. But Eadie came on and he proved that he can play with Pukki up there. Hugill will wait his chance. I thought Hernandez was below his normal standard today. You've got Buendia coming back maybe. Yeah, I mean, I thought Todd Cantwell had a lot of ball today, but didn't have a lot of positivity on his ball and like a positive impact in the game. So Buendia maybe, like we were saying so many times last year, playing in that number 10 role. You know what I mean, especially with Skip to Buendia, then he's got that ability to play them killer passes, whereas Todd sort of like didn't show any quality in the final third today on the ball, got a lot of the ball. But like I say, it's the manager's got a lot of options. How he keeps them happy, you know what I mean, that's only he knows that. But if the team's winning, then you've got to have good players to come in, because there will be injuries. And like I say, there will be players don't play in, and if they don't play well, they've got someone to come in and replace them.
Yeah, and we've got the stats of the game today. You can see Norwich had the possession in the end, and actually probably, I'd imagine Preston were edging it in the first half, but yeah, it's a relatively even game, isn't it? Apart from the corners, maybe, you know, Preston have had quite a few more, but Norwich dealt with them relatively well today.
Yes.
I mean, well, I say that. There were some warning signs, wasn't there? Again, Preston was a couple of times where they could have scored from them, but you know, they didn't score, so that's a plus.
Yeah, there was a couple of scrambles in there that you felt Norwich should deal with them better, but like I say, all in all, really, they got the head on a lot of corners and whatever, and the possessions. I think Preston, especially in the latter stages before Norwich scored the equaliser, they were happy just to sit deeper and let Norwich have the ball in front of them. Because, obviously if they remain compact, but obviously they got caught by the sucker punch. But like I say, it was a championship game. It was a championship game today. Norwich have come out with a point, 4 points from 6 games. You know, I mean, it's a solid start.
Yeah, half decent start. And just before we go, if you want to watch the games, you can obviously watch us free on YouTube, Twitter and Facebook before the game, half-time and after the game. Season ticket holders can use their codes to get on and watch the game for free. Anybody else would like to watch the game, they can go to the EFL website and the iFollow and buy a match pass for £10. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on NR1 Live.